Welcome back folks, my name is Last No Meal and today we're gonna be talking about the Witcher 3 mods, or well, more specifically, I'm going to give you my full mod list I'm using in 2022 that is going from the both graphical standpoint, quality of life one, along with lore friendly mods, and at the same time in the end we're gonna be focusing on combat mods as well. Now without further wasting your time, let's get into the video itself, and keep in mind you do have timestamps down below to choose and see which mod fits you the best. So to install most mods on the list which I'm going to show you, the process is going to be the same. Well, if there is a mod which has a different process, I'm going to show you, but if I don't show you, the process is going to be like this. So basically navigate to your Witcher 3 main folder directory, which is going to have these files. If you don't have the mods folder initially, you have to create one yourself, so just create a new folder and call it mods, and that's about it. So once you go into mods, you see like I have a bunch of mods installed already, and you can easily recognize the mod because it's going to have this mod and then it's going to have the name of the mod. So here we open up, for example, Stars on the Night Sky mod, and we can see that it has mod stars here. I also have the folder here because I'm also using the mod right now. So we just drag and drop this thing. Obviously I'm going to replace the files because I already have those files, but you won't. And we do this, and there you go, you have the mod installed for the game. So the first mod we're gonna be talking about is going to be the Witcher 3 HD Reworked project by Hulk Hogan. This is beautiful because what Hulk Hogan did is that he took all of the textures and assets from the game and gave them this amazing 4K texture overwork, which makes it very nice, very next gen, and something that just simply stands out in this game. So once you basically install the mod, you have to go into your settings, into options, go to video, go to graphics, and scroll down here to texture quality. So if you install the mod correctly, you can basically change these values into the one which is going to be on the right, and it's going to be preset value Hulk Ultra HD. You select this one and you have everything pretty much as it should be. So the next mod we're going to talk about is going to be the Witcher 3 Enhanced Reshade mod. Now for this you need a Reshade software, which I'm going to tell you how to install. Do not worry, it's not going to be anything too difficult. At the same time, you have to realize that the texture mod and this mod, the Reshade one, is the one which is the most demanding. So what basically happens is that you will lose a couple of frames if you do install this, but there is another option. So once you're in the game actually, and once you have everything installed correctly, you need to press home. By pressing home, up here you can actually go into the directory where you put the actual folder, and you click the Witcher 3 Enhanced 1.1.ini. After that, it's going to be selected, you press escape, and you're going to have everything which you need in front of you, basically having this look. So to install the Reshade itself, the process is going to be extremely easy. So you go to reshade.me website and you click download here, and of course you click download Reshade 5.3.0. So once you downloaded that, you're going to get this file. You just double click it. It's going to be opening up a bunch of games you already have and a bunch of applications. So what you basically do is you go to search and you type in The Witcher. It's going to have The Witcher 3 right here, so you're going to click next. It's going to select the actual directory of the location already. So you click next and you just go with the directs, 10, 11, 12. You don't have to go for anything else unless you specifically need OpenGL or Vulkan API. So after that, we're going to go and click next. Obviously, it's going to say modify for me because I already have it. So you're going to click next. So right here, we have everything, for example, that you could install. So if you want something else, you can just click here and select it, and it's going to have everything installed already. So we click next and it's going to do this, boom, finished, and that's it. So now we need an actual preset. So you're going to go to the website and download the Witcher 3 Enhanced Edition. There's a few versions you can select, like for example if you want the less saturated version and so on. But we're going to go obviously with the less saturated. So we're going to double click it and it's going to have this file over here. So now we're going to go into the main Witcher 3 directory. We're going to go to bin. We're going to go to x64 right here. And copy and paste this, basically just drag and drop, and it's going to apply there, and that's it. Of course, if you do not want to install the actual Reshade, there is the Super Turbo Light mod for The Witcher 3, which you can just install normally like I'm going to show you. This is going to make your game look beautiful, as you can see right here, where the light is going to look very nicely during, for example, the sunsets and during the day. Also during the night and during the rain itself, the actual scenery is going to look absolutely beautiful, so this is a mod I definitely recommend you do. Now the next mod we're going to cover is going to be More Shadows mod. So what is this going to do? Well, it's going to add more shadows. Keep in mind this mod is somewhat experimental, but at the same time it worked for me really well, so I don't really bother with it. So for example, right here we can see how this burns and you can see really nice shadows, and this looks definitely like next gen because the vanilla, Witcher game does not have this. And especially during the night when you have this light fog in the background, the light itself is going to be beautiful. Just look at the scene right here, look at these torches, look at the light. It's very nice, and it's a small mod, but I definitely recommend installing this. So the next mod we're going to cover is going to be New Clouds mod. As for example, you can see above me, these clouds are absolutely not present in the vanilla game itself. So install this, and once you're going around basically Skellige or Velen or wherever, as you're riding around with Roach and you look at the sky, it's going to be absolutely beautiful to look at, and it's going to just make your game look absolutely next gen. Next mod on the list is going to be Aqua Mod. As you can see right here, usually in The Witcher, water is okay when it comes to quality, but if you do install this mod, it's going to make it truly next gen, especially how you walk around, how the light reflects on the actual water and how it looks after all. And this is, I think, definitely beautiful, and it's again going to make your game look next gen, especially once you're going around different areas that have water in it. And for example, if there is a quest where you have to go on the water itself, the experience is going to be a lot more enjoyable, so this is a mod I definitely do recommend. Next thing I want to cover is the Meadows grass mod. This mod is obviously going to add more grass into the scenery, and it's just going to fill the game with a lot more thicker grass overall, which is going to make the game look a little bit more beautiful once you gaze down the horizon itself. The vanilla game does have foliage in general, but not as much as you would get if you install this mod. So if you really want something on the grass itself to make it more stand out and more detailed, then I recommend installing this mod. Next mod is going to be Blood mod, which is going to add a lot more blood into the game, especially once you're fighting, and also it's going to add more blood on Geralt himself. I recommend using this mod because it just adds better depth to the combat itself and makes it look more realistic and brutal than the usual vanilla combat you would get in the game. Keep in mind, The Witcher 3 combat mechanics when you, for example, down someone are great, but this adds just that final touch which makes everything look a lot better. So in this next mod we're gonna be going in too deep, because we're gonna be installing next gen candles. Yes, exactly, so that these little candles over here look a lot more beautiful than they do in the vanilla game. I mean, if we're gonna be talking about details, then we should be going around details along everything else. So yes, we're gonna be doing the candles as well. Now the next mod is not a joke. Yes, we're seriously going to install next gen haystacks because they look more beautiful and they look more detailed than anything else. This is a small detail, but again, as I said previously, small details make the overall experience look a lot better, so you can install this if you want. So the next mod we're going to cover are going to be high quality faces. What is this going to do? Well, it's going to change and increase the quality of faces of NPCs. And not just NPCs, but also various characters you meet throughout the game, including Yennefer, Triss, Ciri, and everyone else. This is especially good if you want to have real quality throughout your game, and especially because it's going to make the game look next gen, so I definitely recommend installing this mod. Now next up, remember how you have trophies from various monsters you actually slay, you can put them on Roach and get various effects from it? Well, with this mod you actually get a lot better trophies, and trophies which are actually a lot more useful than the ones in vanilla titles. So if you want to have that and not actually break the game or anything like that, because it's not going to make you too strong, but it's going to add some additional effects, then I definitely recommend installing this mod. And now we're also going to make Geralt look a lot more lore friendly. So basically what you do is that you make the face of Geralt look like more it's mutated rather than being more natural. So if you want to have to go with this look, then I definitely recommend you do it this way and check out this mod, because honestly I've been using it since the start and it's amazing. So the next mod we're going to talk about are going to be about improving Witcher signs. So for example, once you use Ard, it's going to look a lot better than it does in the vanilla game itself, and it's going to make your experience a lot better, especially because you're going to be using these signs a lot in the game. So once you have this, it's going to make your experience a lot better. So I definitely recommend installing this one. Next mod is going to be increasing draw distance itself, because actually once you look in the background itself, The Witcher 3 has problems with, not having enough distance and quality in the distance itself. But with this mod, everything in the background as you get closer to it is going to have a lot better quality, and you're going to be able to see more people, more NPCs, and more details overall in the background, which makes everything a little bit more immersive and next gen, so install this. Next thing we're going to cover are going to be lore-friendly silver swords for Geralt of Rivia. So basically the swords themselves, the silver ones, are going to have a lot more highlight, and they're going to be a lot more beautiful than in the vanilla game, especially once you combine it with a good light mod and a good reshade mod. It's going to have a nice little, how would I say, effect when you're fighting with the enemies, so it makes everything look a lot better. Next thing we're going to add are going to be better torches. So once you're going through the world itself, and especially if it's during the night, you can have these better torches which are going to work on road as you're walking, as you're fighting, for example, and makes your entire experience better, because during the night you don't want to use the potion at all times. So if you want to have this sort of experience, you can do it this way. Quickly remove the actual torch like this and continue fighting, and once you're done, you take out the torch again like this. And we also have a beautiful mod which adds stars and various lights on the night sky. So if you want to fill your night sky with some more punch and some more colors, especially like as you're exploring throughout the world during the night, then I definitely recommend getting this one. It's going to add these nice little colors to the sky, making everything look a little bit more believable, especially with this huge moon and this side. I mean, this is beautiful and absolutely next gen when you think about it. Next mod we're going to cover is going to be Geralt's Cloak and Hood mod that people keep asking for it. So basically once you installed everything and once you're in the game, you have to press 8 and it's going to put the hood back off or on. So if you remove it, press 8 again and it's going to appear. If you want to remove or add a cloak, you press 9. So once you press it, Geralt is going to remove it. And once basically Geralt is done with it, you press 9 again, and Geralt is going to put the cloak back on. And also if you want to double check key bindings themselves, you go into options, go to key bindings, and go down here until you see Geralt Cloak toggle hood and Geralt Cloak toggle cape, and this is basically all you have to do right here. And now I'm going to show you how to install Geralt's Cloak. So once you go to the website, you have two versions you can check. So I recommend getting the alternative model because it makes the cloak a little better and it fits overall with the physique of Geralt. So once you download this file, you have 3 folders over here. We're going to go to the mods folder as I described before, and we're going to just drag and drop this into the file itself, just like I showed you right here. Now this process is maybe the worst one of all to do, but it's relatively easy so you don't have to worry about it. So we're going to navigate to the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt main folder. Now we're going to go to bin, to config, to R4 game, user config matrix, PC, and now we're going to go and find input. This is the folder we need. So you cannot open XML file like this easily, so we're going to right click it and we're going to open this up with Notepad. Now another thing which I do recommend is getting Notepad++. It's free, it's open source, and it's going to make everything look more beautiful. But let's say you're going to open this up in Notepad. So we open this up and it's going to have a lot of code here and just basically text which is necessary for the game. But you don't have to worry about any one of these, because whenever you have like camera interactions, this is basically your user input. When you press a button, it's going to do an action which is supposed to do. So we're going to go down here, and for example, already I have this Geralt Cloak thing. So you're going to copy this. Obviously, your version is not going to have it, so we're going to remove this. All right. So below the shortcuts and above the panels, you just do this. If it's not already, you go to here and you paste it. And that's it. You're going to save, X, and that's it. Now once you go into your game, you have everything ready for the mod itself. Next mod we're going to cover is going to be combat oriented, and it's going to be SCAAR Combat Mod. So what this basically does, it changes and kinda enhances how Geralt fights in the game itself. So when you're fighting, dodging Geralt is gonna be doing more moves. Once you're fighting different enemies, Geralt's moveset is going to be a lot more streamlined, and it's going to make some things a little bit too easy, but at the same time the animations themselves and how you fight is going to make this absolutely worthwhile. But don't be sure that if you're fighting a stronger enemy that you won't fail, because you absolutely will. But at the same time, I love this mod because it changes the combat a little bit, but not to the point where it makes Geralt not fight as a Witcher itself. Next up, we're going to talk about Exotics Arsenal Weapons DLC for The Witcher 3, which basically adds a lot more weapons into the game. Some of them are lore friendly, some of them are not, but at the same time, it does add a variety of various swords you can use and fight with, and it makes an experience a little bit better, because if you already played the game and you got tired with the same weapons, you can kind of choose and pick from this. You obviously have the list on the mod page, so you can spawn the weapon itself and use it for basically the game itself. Next mod is going to be more of that quality of life one, because weapons have no more degradation with this mod. Honestly, I found degradation of weapons a little bit stupid in the game. Of course, if you want to really have it realistically, you can leave it as is, but if you have this mod and if you go into your inventory, your weapons are no longer going to degrade, and they're not going to basically be useless in the moment that you want them the most. Now, of course, this is going to render these armor repair kits useless, but you have to decide if you want to use it or not. And the last optional mod on this list is basically which allows you to fast travel from anywhere. So before in the game you have to arrive to this waypoint and then, you know, choose and click where you're going to go. With this mod you can pretty much just travel anywhere. You just basically click like this and Geralt is going to travel. Keep in mind, if you haven't played the game already and it's your first time, I don't recommend using this because it might break the game. So this mod is only for people who have played the game and want an easier way to fast travel throughout the title if they don't want to walk to the location on foot or on roach. And these were all the mods I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to tell me down below if there is any mods you would like to also showcase, and if you have any recommendations for the community, just write it down below in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this video and if it helped you, please click that like and subscribe button for more. Also check us out on Twitter and Discord to join the discussion there and also interact with the rest of the community. And I do have a Patreon page if you want to support the channel in an extra way. It would be awesome, thank you. And a huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. This is LKM signing out, stay classy everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.